I couldn't afford to hire somebody to help.
Good evening. This episode of the Intraday Price Action Recap is being brought to you by the Smart Money Manuscript. Hello, my name is Timothy Leroy Sr., and I'm the creator of the Smart Money Manuscript. But Tim, what is the Smart Money Manuscript? The Smart Money Manuscript is your roadmap to financial freedom. That's right, your roadmap to financial freedom. Inside, we're going to be discussing things for absolute beginners who never even heard of the stock market or don't know what the stock market is. We're going to teach what is the stock market, what is a stock, what is an index. We're going to teach all of that. We're going to talk about options. We're going to talk about futures. We're going to talk about fundamental analysis, technical analysis. Speaking of technical analysis, we're going to take a deep dive into the ICT concepts. We're going to discuss how to figure out how much you need as an individual to save for your personal retirement. We're going to talk about retirement portfolios. So if you want to be a long-term buy and hold investor, if you want to be a swing trader, if you want to be a day trader, if you want to trade stocks, if you want to trade options, if you want to trade futures, the Smart Money Manuscript is for you. It's dropping on August 6, 2025, which is my birthday and my youngest son's birthday, for $69.99. Yes, $69.99 for all of this here. Mark the date, set it on your calendar, remember it, and I'll see you on August the 6th.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, how you doing? Are we? Yes, we are unmuted. I'm looking down to make sure I was unmuted. We are unmuted. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Hopefully everybody doing well. We're a little late.
I don't know if it was my phone, Tim, but we were watching the video. It looked like your mouth was a little bit behind the sound.
Ain't no telling. Probably was your cheap cell phone.
Here we go. All right, go on and say who went here.
Probably was your cheap cell phone.
Hey, look who in here. Look who in here.
Oh, what's up, cuz? Slater in here. What's going on, Slater? We were just talking about you. I think that was earlier today. We was talking about you. What up, cuz? You actually in here, or you flawsing?
Yeah, he flaws. He just got it on. He cut right now. He got his phone in his pocket cut.
What's up?
Yeah, he got his phone in his pocket. That boy ain't even listening. That boy on his motorcycle, beard flapping right now. He can't hardly hear what we saying. Can't hardly hear what we saying right now, man. What's going on? Got Lumpy here. We got Slater. We got Yolanda in here. Let me see. Yolanda. Whenever I see Yolanda name like that, it's gonna be some unmuting.
I'm coming off mute.
It gonna be some unmuting. Whenever I see the Shonister down there, it's coming off. It's gonna be some unmuting. What's up here, learn and share? Oh, my page got the little crowns now, man. I've been trying to figure out why I can't see the crowns on I want the crowns, but I see crowns. I got crowns on y'all got crowns on y'all names now. All right, what's up here, learn and share? What's going on to Kim? We got Will in here. What's going on, Will? I ain't seen Will in the month of Sundays. We got Honey. What's going on, Honey? Hey, I see more numbers than I see names, but them are all the names I'm gonna call because that's all the names that I see. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all. There's a link pinned at the top of the chat and on YouTube. Feel free to click on that link and pull up and join us on the Zoom. And hey, wait a minute. I closed my trading view. I guess I closed it when I was working on the course. Speaking of the course, y'all saw the promo at the beginning. If you didn't see the promo at the beginning, I got a course dropping on August the 6th. It's called the price action, the Smart Money Manuscript, for $69.99. If you are part of the gang, the ones that joined the Discord through the WAP platform, and if you have been a member of that prior to May 27th, you will have access to the Smart Money Manuscript for absolutely free. I'm extremely happy about how the course is coming together. It's coming together exactly as I envisioned it, how I wanted it to be laid out. I've today and yesterday, the people that was on the surprise pop-up for the weekend chart prep got an opportunity to peek behind the veil, and get a sneak peek at what I'm developing. The gang, the diamond members that were on the tape reading stream today, they got an opportunity to peek behind the veil. Not only did they get an opportunity to peek behind the veil last night and today, they got an opportunity to participate in some of the quizzes. Everybody did well. We today we they I gotta go full screen for this right here. Today they were trying they were trying to get on one accord with the answers. They were like, hey, look here, man. We got to get 100, so we need to get on the same shit.
Man, we did good this morning. You talking about us? I know you ain't talking about us.
I led with, what did I lead with? What's the first thing I
missed
said?
it. I don't know, but I missed it.
I
Y'all
said,
what you said, y'all.
Everybody did well.
Okay.
Did well.
Okay,
That's
I
what I
dig
said.
that.
I said everybody did well, but they were trying to get on the same sheet of music. And then so, but everybody did good. And the individuals that had an opportunity to peek behind the veil, they said they like the layout of it, and they like the the flow of it. They appreciate the fact that it has short quizzes in there to test your knowledge of the video that you just watched, and they just said it's coming together well. So I'm excited about that. I got a lot of work to do. I should have started working on this when I first talked about it, because to actually go through put the course together, QA QC it, go through, check for any bugs, check for any mistakes, check it. It takes a lot. It take a long time. So, August 6th is coming very fast right now. It's coming very fast. So, but like I say, it's going to be, what did I just do? It's going to be available August the 6th for $69.99. Gang that is in the Discord, where they purchased the Discord through the WAP. As long as you've been a member prior to May 27th, you'll have access to it for free. I'm not going to block my blessings. So if you want to go out there and you want to pay the $69.99 for the course, hey, that'd be a good birthday gift to me. You know what I'm saying? It's me and my son's birthday when it's dropping. I ain't gonna block my blessing. The link will be out there if you want to utilize that link. Ain't no pressure. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel bad. Like if you don't use the link and you go in there and you know what I'm saying, get access to it without paying for it, don't feel bad about that, because the reason why I'm doing it, giving it to y'all for free, is because it's everything that I've ever talked about on this channel, but it's just all in a course format, right? It's all in a course format. So things that, you know, you've paid for already, it's just regurgitated and in one, you know what I'm saying, like course put together type of environment, whatever I'm trying to say. Let's go ahead and get into the price. Did price do anything today that caught anybody off guard? Did price do something today that made you say, why did price do that? If it did, feel free to unmute and say, hey Tim, I got a question. Let me turn my fan on because I'm sitting back here and y'all already know when I be sitting back here up under these lights, it be getting hot. It be getting hot when I'm sitting back here up under these lights. So I got to turn my fan on. All right. But yeah, feel free to click on the Zoom link that's pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube and yeah, join me. Sorry, y'all. My shortcuts wasn't working. I was trying to share my screen, but it wasn't, my shortcuts wasn't working. All right, man, let's get to it. The intraday price action recap. All right. We're gonna go here to 15-minute candles. Move something. Move something. Move something. Move something. Okay. I was just moving stuff that was not necessary. All right. Looking at price. If you tuned in to the hey Venus, if you tuned in to the price the weekend chart prep, we talked about all of the TDA and what we were, you know what I'm saying, where we were in price, and you know what I'm saying, coming into Monday's trade, and where we were in price, what price had going on. All right. So as we stated on the price action, I mean the weekend chart prep and on the tape reading, right? We gapped down. When we gapped down, we engaged previous days low. All right. We engaged previous days low. After engaging previous days low, we engineered sell side liquidity. Hey, that looked kind of like a hat that Pharrell be wearing, right? But we got the little Pharrell hat, sell side liquidity engineer, Erica Badu hat right there. Got the big 10-gallon Erica Badu Pharrell hat, right? Engineered sell side liquidity, right? And then price traded up, right? Unwilling to come lower. All right. So when price does not show, when price takes out liquidity, the weekend chart prep, you were anticipating a bearish day, correct? No, I wasn't anticipating a bearish day. I said we're in a sell program on a lower time frame, but the higher time frame is just consolidating. So we just watch price in the scheme of the lower time frame sell program, but we had already reached the sell side liquidity, right? So you wait to see what price want to do because we've reached that daily low. I said if we reach that daily low, right, and then we get back above here, then I'm looking at the daily high because that's too much of a retracement just to come back down to the weekly low because we've engaged the now back to what I was saying. When we engage one side of the liquidity, right? When we engage one side of the liquidity and we don't take out the we don't show a willingness to continue in that direction, what do we anticipate price to do? Do you understand what I was saying, Steve? Because I never in entire time that I ain't gonna say entire time, but as far as back as I can remember, I never say it's gonna be a bearish day, it's gonna be a bullish day. I never say that because I don't care if it's a bearish day or a bullish day. I always point to I have an anticipatory reactionary point. I got liquidity where I'm anticipating price to draw into. All right. I'm always looking at what's the draw on liquidity. And if it delivers to that draw, I don't care what the day is. I don't care if it's bullish or bearish. This is where we anticipate price to go. And when we hit it, right? What do we do? What do we do when price hits the draw on liquidity? Somebody tell me, what do we do when price hits the draw on liquidity? Is my mic on? Is my mic working?
Yeah, we can hear you. You asked the question?
Twice.
No, I thought you were talking to Steve. What'd you say now? What's the question?
I said, talk about Slater shucking.
Hey man, I ain't the only one out to lunch, man. At least, but now, what was the question? I really thought you were still talking to Steve because he said something about Steve asked you something you ain't never in the last few days. But anyway, what's the question?
He'll learn to share it, answered it.
Okay.
Does it want to continue or reverse? Not really continue or reverse, right? If it reaches the liquidity and doesn't show a willingness to continue, what do we anticipate? Price to do what?
In reverse, I guess.
You ain't never heard me say we looking for it to reverse. Take the opposite side. Thank you. We anticipated to want to draw to the opposite side of the range. Right? Whatever that range is.
I thought that was the same thing as reverse. If it's going the other way, I ain't say retrace. I said reverse. So reverse would be going to take the opposing liquidity.
No, a reverse. You're right. A reverse can be going to take the opposing liquidity, but taking this opposing liquidity does not mean it's a reversal, because taking that opposing liquidity right there, you're still inside this bearish dealing range for the weekly.
Okay.
I guess you're coming back and you're taking that out, and you could still take that out and still continue your sale program, right? Because we're inside this weekly range right here. And for this is our weekly range last week. And coming from this high down to there, we've established a bearish dealing range inside this weekly range here. So taking out this daily liquidity, right, doesn't equal a reversal. We just took out the opposing side of this dealing range right here. And we would still be in a sell program. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying that I never say reversed, because reverse is, you have to be careful what you say, right? You have to be careful what you say. You got to use the correct terms, right? Because taking that out right there, that's just a retracement in the sense of your dealing range right here. You see what I'm saying? This is our dealing range, right? So that's just a retracement. That's not a reversal. You know what I'm saying? Right? Inside our dealing range. So
unmute. I was trying to unmute, but I thought we were just dealing with that last little price leg right there. I didn't know we was dealing with.
We are dealing with all of this. That's what I'm saying. Everything connects together like Lego blocks, right? We gotta remember, everything connects together like Lego blocks. So that's why, because you were like, a reverse, ain't that the same thing? I like, a taking out the side can be a reverse. You see what I'm saying? But that's why, like, y'all never heard me use the term reverse for this right here, right? Because we're not looking for this as a reversal. We're looking for this as we have a dealing range inside of a dealing range, right? So when we engage this liquidity and don't show a willingness to continue, right, and you get the proper signature, now you're anticipating price to go back to the opposite side of this dealing range. Why? Because it's inside of a bigger dealing range, and the opposite end is internal liquidity for the higher time frame dealing range. You see what I'm saying? So you're looking for that to be taken. Okay. Now don't go running looking for the, oh, Tim said, it's got to be a part of the narrative, right? It has to be a part of the narrative. All right. So, like I was saying before, when we gap down, right, when was looking at the intraday, I mean the weekend chart prep, right? Said we was in a sale program, right? So we're looking for price to engage with the sell side, right? Because we're in a sale program. When we gap down, we immediately took the sell side. So it didn't give us an opportunity to participate, right? So looking at our latest expansion leg, right? Right. This is the portion of price, right? This is the portion of price that you would be watching for a continuation down, right? Price is unwilling to continue down. We come back up into a premium, hang out there at equilibrium, come down, set relative equal lows. That's when we're talking about the Erykah Badu Pharrell hat, right? That's when Steve asked the question, was like, when you looking for a bearish day? I said, no, I'm never looking for a bearish day. I'm looking for price to draw into the drawn liquidity. All right. And then I asked, this was the question nobody answered. Once price reaches our drawn liquidity, what do we do?
Look for it to take the other side.
Nope. When it reaches our draw, what do we do?
We wait.
We wait. We wait. We wait for price to show us what it wants to do.
I get what you're saying. Just give people that goddamn money back.
Just give people they what?
I knew it was gonna happen. I say they money back because they still trying to have soccer practice in a storm.
You ain't say give them their money back. You said give them their yacht.
Yes, because you trying to say we going and it's storming and lightning. But I digress. I knew I was gonna do it. Hey everybody, bye bye.
Give people that. If you don't give me my mother. We wait, right? When price reaches the draw on liquidity, we wait, right? We wait. And then while we're waiting, what are we looking for? We're looking for what? It begins with an S. Right?
Signatures.
We're looking for signatures, right? These signatures are going to let us know, does price want to continue in the direction that it took the liquidity, or does price want to go to the opposite end of that dealing range, right? Now, a lot of this, everything about this depends on narrative, but price is fractal, so it's going to work from the highest time frames down. Now, if you're coming to the end of your dealing range of the treetop tall highest time frame, right? Now you're looking at the opposite end of your dealing range, right? And if we get to the opposite end of the dealing range, then that's why I say that could signal a reversal, right? But we're not looking for a reversal because we don't try to pick tops and pick bottoms, right? We're just looking for the signatures where the algorithm is showing us what's the next draw on liquidity, because price moves for two reasons. It's moving toward what and what? Somebody tell me. Price moves toward what and what?
You talking about the imbalances and liquidity pools, or is it
Yes.
yeah,
It's
liquidity
looking for liquidity and it's looking for
to balance.
imbalances, right? Why? Because it operates off of liquidity. That's the rocket fuel, right? And it wants the market to be in a state of balance, right? So anytime there's an imbalance in price or an inefficiency, something that's not efficiently delivered, it's going to seek that out. Anytime there's liquidity that hasn't been touched, it's going to seek that out, right? That's why we look for signatures to say, is price willing to continue, or is price wanting to go the other way, go to the other end of the dealing range that has been established, right? And you can establish dealing ranges based off of sweeping liquidity. You can establish dealing ranges based off of algorithmic time, right? When certain times that the algorithm is programmed to do stuff, at the beginning of a session, at the beginning of the day, at the beginning of a kill zone, at the beginning of an hour, at the beginning of a five. You can formulate a algorithmic range around anything dealing with time and price. Right now, how accurate it's going to be depends on if you're doing it based off of what the algorithm does, or if you're just pulling something out the crack of your, you know what I'm saying, anal canal. Right. But if you're doing things based off of algorithmic principles, then you can formulate a strategy around just that. Okay. So we reached our sell side from the prior day, right? Inside the sell program. Okay. So we extended our bearish dealing range down from here to there. Going into the start of the day, this was the high of the range. This was the low of the range. Okay. We gapped down and we extended the range down, right? We extended the bearish range down. Boom. Now that's the low of the range. That's the high of the range. Once we extended the range down, right, we came back into the premium of the latest expansion of the bearish dealing range, right? Then we set relative equal lows. And once we set relative equal lows, we got a bullish breaking market structure right here. Right. Once we got that bullish breaking market structure there, now you're watching to see, now that we've come back into a premium, right? Now we're refusing to go lower. So now you're watching to see if price wants to attack the opposite side of the dealing range. Why this dealing range right here, Tim? Because we took out the low of that dealing range, right? How do you know that's the low of that dealing range? Because this is our daily range right there. That's based off of algorithmic understanding of what a day is. That's the highest high, that's the lowest low. So that's a dealing range that the algorithm understands. We've taken out the low of that range, and now we've got a bullish break in market structure after refusing to go lower, after, right, making bullish divergence with the other, God dog it, come on, with the other sisters, right? Right there. Dow made a lower low. ES made a lower low. NQ made a higher low. Bullish divergence, right? So we got bullish divergence, a bullish break in market structure, right? So now you want to, if, like I said earlier, if price comes above here, then I'm looking for it to take out the opposite end of the range. Why is that? Because for the last portion of the bearish dealing range, right? We have taken out, right? We've taken out the buy side liquidity, right? We've taken out the buy side liquidity for the last portion of this bearish dealing range, and there's nothing up here, right? There's nothing up here for the higher time frame. This, well, matter of fact, this 15-minute time frame, right? This 15-minute time frame here, right? We've traded back into that fair value gap, right? We've traded back into that fair value gap, and then we have a fair value gap there, right? We got a fair value gap there, but trading back all the way back above this right here, that right there is too far of a retracement if price is truly heavy at this point, right? At this point, if we come all the way back above this high here, right, we're heading toward the liquidity, right, to either continue up or sweep that liquidity to continue our pursuit down. Okay. Right. And what makes it, Tim, you're not saying a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, saying plenty. What makes it right, bullish, right? What makes it bullish is, right, taking out this high, right? Now on this time frame here, right, we're extending the bullish dealing range, right? Because right here on this time frame here, this is the low, this is the high of this, right? We came and take out sell side liquidity, came up, took out buy side liquidity, right? This right here is our weekly range. That's a bullish dealing range, right? We retrace back down from that high, right? Creating a bearish dealing range, right? That bearish dealing range is what created our sell program, right? The higher time frame is in a buy program. The higher time frame is bullish, right? The higher time frame, we're just up here engineering liquidity, right? We're not showing a willingness to go up or down right now. We're just engineering liquidity up here on the higher time frame, right? But inside that engineering liquidity, right, we have signatures that we can play intraday, right? So taking out this buy side right there. Now, what are you looking for? To see if price wants to take out the weekly buy side, right? See if it wants to take out the weekly buy side. If it takes out the weekly buy side, right? Now we've extended the bullish dealing range up, right? Does that mean we're going to keep going up? No, it doesn't. Why not? Because we have engineered sell side liquidity down here. Right, we've engineered sell side liquidity down here, and now since we've engineered sell side liquidity, right, if we go up here and take out the buy side on the weekly, right, and then get a breaking structure to the downside, what do we anticipate? Price drawing toward the opposite end of the range, right? We anticipate price drawing toward the opposite end of the range.
So Tim,
Go ahead.
okay, so I understand all of this. Do we don't take into account this overall, so to speak, parent range with this low all the way to the left? Because that's the larger range, right? Like you said, in a bullish range with this low right here.
Right
Do
there.
do we kind of just, like you say, put that to the side since we kind of in these other ranges? When we take that into account? Only if we broke structure and start coming back that way?
No, we always take that into account because we're inside. Uh-oh, come here. Right here. We're inside we're trading inside this range right here. Right. All we did was just extend it up last week. Right. Last week we just extended it up. So we're trading and we're inside that bullish. That's why remember I said the higher time frame is in a buy program. The higher time frame is bullish. Right. We're just up here consolidating and engineering liquidity right now.
So we can still kind of use that as our, like you say, even though we consolidate, you kind of use that as if when we kind of come back and go into discount before returning the premium, would you use that overall range? Or
Yes.
you was, yeah, okay.
Yes, that's your overall range. That's the right. If we squanch price all the way up, right? If we squanch price all the way up from here to here, that's the latest expansion, right? That's the latest expansion of all of this. You see what I'm saying? From this low here to that high there, that's the latest expansion for all of this range right here, because the higher time frame is in a buy program and the higher time frame is bullish, right? And the last time price expanded to the upside was from this low. You see what I'm saying? We came up, right? We came up, we came up, we came up, right? And then we came up there, right? We expanded up that. This is the lowest low since the last time we expanded up above highs, and we never took that low. Came down and we made a higher high, right? We came down, right? And if we go up here, we're just making a higher high. If we come take out this weekly high, we're just making a higher high. So we're still looking at this right here. And then since price is fractal and we're looking at the what is the time frame of the dealing range, right? So the time frame of the dealing range is this right here. For there to there, that's a weekly dealing range, right? That's a weekly low and a weekly high, right? From here to here, that's a daily dealing range. That's a daily low and a daily high and a daily low, right? So if we're inside a weekly range, right? If we're inside a weekly range and we got a daily range inside of there, and we take out the daily range low, right, and don't show a willingness to continue down and get a break in structure, right, then we will be anticipating the daily range high. Why? Because it's the opposite end of the range. Does it have to get there? No, because we have liquidity right there that it could trade to and come back down if price was extremely bearish, right? But we trade up into the opposite end of the range, and then we don't take out the weekly high, right? We don't take out the weekly high. So we're for inside of this bullish weekly range, right? This sell program is still intact. Why? Because this is the highest high and this is the lowest low for this sell program that we initiated, right? So the sell program is still intact, right? for the overall higher time frame, right? We're up here in a premium of the overall dealing range, right? And where do we want to buy it? We want to buy in discounts, right? We want to buy in discounts. So up here, right, for the overall time frame, we're still using this as our overall narrative. And right now, we're still in the premium engineering liquidity, right? We haven't broken out to the upside. We haven't broken out to the downside, right? And then when we, if, like I say, if we do take this and have a bearish break in market structure, what liquidity would you be looking for? The opposite end of that range, right? The weekly range, just like we look for the opposite end of the daily range. Just like when we come into 930 and we have the 930 opening range, if we engage the lows and get a break in market structure, we anticipate it going back to the opening range high, right? We're looking for the liquidity at the opposite end of that dealing range, right? And then we look in between there to say, hey, is there a reason for me to scale out? Is there a reason for me to take something off? Is there, you know what I'm saying, any type of internal liquidity between where I am and where I'm anticipating price to go that can create problems, right? You can scale some off there, right? We say if it gets above here, then I'm looking up there. So this is a anticipatory reactionary point. So when it get there, you can take something off if you want to, right? We said if we get above the upper quadrant, that's when you don't want to see price fail. You want to see price it once we get above the upper quadrant, we're looking for that speed into our destination. You don't want to see it start to dig back down once we get above that upper quadrant. And then if we look here, right, we wicked above the upper quadrant there, right? We wicked above the upper quadrant there, and then we closed close to it, and then we closed above it. Once we closed above it, price started to move into that destination, right? Right. Why? Because those quadrant levels hold some type of value, right? And that was for just that portion of this range right here, right? This was from that high to that low, right? Because that was the overall last drop for the bearish range. This right here was the, you know what I'm saying? You had three sections, that high, that high, that high, were all parts of all legs in this final drop right there. Right. So coming from here, we drop down, set a high, drop down, set a high, drop down. Right. And then once we get above that upper quadrant, you want to see price stay strong and not start digging back down. You're not looking for retracements in this area, right? You want to see your retracements before we take this with some authority, right? Long as we ain't took this with some authority, you anticipate in some type of retracements or deeper retracements. But once you take that with authority, you don't want to see no more deep retracing, right? The algorithm is showing you, okay, I've moved 3/4 of the way. I'm ready to blow the top off now, or blow the bottom off, whichever way it's going. All right. All right. So we done beat the dealing ranges up a little bit. Now let's go in and take a closer look at the price action going into 930. Right. We're going to mark out our 930, then we're going to drop down to a lower time frame. Right. This is our that's 915. That's our 930 open. Okay. I just put it over to 4 o'clock. I just put it to the end of it. No, I just put it to 12 because it's for the morning. All right. That's our 930 open there. And then That right there is our 130 open. All right, that's our 130 open. Now let's go down. 1 minute. 1 minute candles might be a little too low, but we'll try to work with it. Right. All right. So gonna squanch it up for a second. Just get a quick overview of everything. Then we're gonna go in and look at price in some detail. Gonna chop off everything after 4. All right. So looking at today, this is today's price action on a 1 minute chart. Right. We already said before. Right. We engineered sell side liquidity. Also got, hey Tim, I got on late, but a masterclass from what I've seen so far. Got to go back and watch. Thanks, Big. Hey, you welcome, C-Walk. So we said we just engineering liquidity and engineer some sell side, and then we got a bullish breaking market structure here, right? And that's roughly around and during the London, right? Going to like ending rounding out the first hour of the London, right? Inside the London macro. All right, this right here is that's about 350, 352, somewhere around there. That's inside the London 350 to 410 macro. We get a bullish breaking market structure there, right? Once we got the bullish breaking market structure in the London, right, we went back to engineering liquidity again, right? We're engineering liquidity at that breaking market structure right there, right? Not showing a willingness to come back down and take out that low. All right, so we engineering liquidity there at the breaking market structure there. All right, so then we going into the New York kill zone, right? We're continuing up, and then in the 9 o'clock hour, price takes off, trades up, right, above this high, taking out that buy side liquidity, right? That's the buy side liquidity where we said if price comes above here, we're looking up there. Right, so we come above the buy side liquidity there. All right, and then going into 930, right, what are we looking for? We're looking for, is price going to give us a Judas swing, right? So at 930, we open up, price trades up, right, up to the upper quadrant, and then price breaks back down, right? Here's our Judas swing coming into 930, right? So coming into 930, we take off to the upside, and this is our lowest low so far. This is our highest high right there. So let's mark this out, right? So right there, that going in. So when 930 opens up, right at this point in time, this is our opening range high, right? And at this point in time, this is our opening range low. Okay, because the opening range is from 930 to 10, right? Let's just mark this out right here. Come over there, then we'll go to clock. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna make this blue. I'm just gonna make it, I'll make it yellow. Right. I'll make it yellow. Right. So right now, that window right there is the opening range. So at this point, when we open up, let's do it like this so we can make it make sense. Right. So boom, when you open up, right now after 930, this the lowest low, this the highest high. Right. Price took off to the upside. Right. And then price took out the opposite end. Boom. That's a bearish Judas swing. All right. Now, this morning we was watching price, right? We said, okay, we got a bearish Judas swing, Okay. Got a Bears Judy swing. So now you're anticipating price to give you some type of short based off this Bears Judy swing. We talked about this morning, right? So now once price came down here, right? Once price came down here, now in the mindset of I got a Bears Judy swing at 9:30 and we're in a sale program, right? We're looking at the relative equal lows that we engineered sell side liquidity. All right. Now, this is why, remember what I said earlier, right? We didn't talk about this on the live, but once price did a certain thing, we said, hey, this is not conducive of a Bears Judy swing. This is a retracement for a bullish dealing range, right? We need to be looking up. Okay. So this is why you always look in between where you are and where you anticipate price going for places to scale or get out. Why is that? Because when we came back down here to this internal liquidity, right? It went, as you see, it went a little lower because we marked out the low, right? Went a little lower, but it didn't continue down to there. Price doesn't always have to get to your draw. That's why we look in between where you are in the draw for places that make sense to scale or be targets to close your trade, especially when we're inside of times when we're engineering liquidity, right? We're just on a higher time frame, we're engineering liquidity. We're not trending right now. Right? We're not trending right now. So we're looking for these signatures to get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. Right? Now, let's go ahead and put the meat back on the bone. I'll just redo it because that's going to take too long. Okay. All right. Now, the Bears Judy swing. Everybody understand that, right? We got the Bears Judy swing and came down here and we took out this sell side liquidity. So that satisfied this Bears Judy swing for the algorithm, right? We talked about this on the live stream, right? Because you say, well, Tim, we got a Bears Judy swing, but we didn't make it down to the sell side liquidity that we have marked. Algorithm don't care nothing about the marks that we put on the chart and we say we want price to go there. Don't care about that, right? But this move up, drop down, Bears Judy swing, retrace back up into the premium above this rejection, into this rejection block. And then we dropped down, right? We went past the low of the swing and we went past, right, the low hanging fruit, went past the low hanging fruit, the next low hanging fruit, all this right here, all the way down past this. So we went very far. We went past like a few targets, right, based off of this Bears Judy swing right there, just not down to the relative equal lows from when we took out that's the, these are the lows down here to continue the sale program, right? Didn't make it down to those. Okay. So now once we got here and we this rally back up here, right? This rally back up there up to this bearish order block right there. So now at this time, the opening range low is here. That's our opening range low right there, right? This is our opening range high right there. When we trade it back up to here, right? What did I say about this area right there? Somebody tell me what I said about that area right there.
Trap traders.
Yes, there are trap traders here, right? And what made me say that, right? Because we went up, We got a bearish Judas swing. We dropped, and when we took out the sell side, we immediately reversed and blew past all of the bearish PD arrays. We immediately created an inversion fair value gap here, an inversion fair value gap there, blew through a bearish breaker, just blew through this stuff. So that sharp V-shaped reversal right there, right? That's telling you that traders are trapped down there, right? You had traders that was playing breakouts to get short because they're trying to short. We're up in a premium, right? Classic signatures of that old wig snatcher. Take out the buy side, take out the sell side, then immediately reverse on the traders that was forced into the market, right? Immediately reversed on them, right? So you immediately reverse. You got trapped traders down here. They're underwater. They're gurgling right now, right? And once we get back up here, right, we start engineering liquidity, and now price is showing you it's not. It dropped down into the balanced price range, move back up, take out the buy side, right? Drop down into the order block, right? Move back up, take out the buy side, take out the buy side of the opening range, right? So now here we are. We've engaged the buy side of our opening range, right? This is our opening range, dealing range right here, right? This is our dealing range based off the opening range, okay? So now that we've got here, now, right, we poke above. Now we're looking to see, is price going to continue up, or do we go to the opposite end of the range, right? We retrace back down and we come into the order block. But what do we not do? We do not take out this low. We do not take out that low, right? Why am I looking at this low and that low right there? Because this is where the trap traders are, right? The traders are trapped down there. The algorithm came down, set a low, right? Went up above that high, came down, refused to take out a low, went above that high, right? So now we're extending we've created and we're keep extending a bullish dealing range. So now we got trap traders here. So now we're not even looking at this right here. We're looking at this as the latest expansion leg of our dealing range. Why? Because we came here, right? Came back down to a discount, went up, right? So this is our overall range, right? And then this portion, we haven't came back down to a discount yet, right? But since these are so close there, that's why I'm like, we're just looking at this as our latest expansion leg. This is the lowest low. That's the highest high from this little balanced area there. There's nothing wrong with marking it here. Same thing, tomato, right? So we come down, right? We don't push outside the opposite end of our dealing range. So it's not showing us a willingness to want to continue down. We come back down into our order block there, right? And price proceeds back up, right? And where do we proceed back up to? We get back up here to the upper quadrant from the dealing range we was talking about before, right? What do we say? Once we take this with some authority, we definitely don't want to see no more retracing, right? So we get there, we poke above it there, deep retracement, come back up, right? We get above it there, here, we close above it, and then we wick off of this high, right? When we wick off this high, right? If you reject the high, the draw is the low that sent you there, right? So we draw back down toward that low. And in this case here, we don't want to see that low taken. Why? Because this is our dealing range that we're looking at, right? You see how everything connect together like Lego blocks, right? You don't have to get to the draw, but if you reject that high, you anticipate it to draw toward this here. But in this case, you don't want to see it taken. So the algorithm comes back down to the bullish order block, right? Engineer some liquidity inside the bullish order block, displaces away, right? Does not come back down to the breakaway gap there, right? Displaces away again, right? And then consolidates here, right there at that high. We're engineering liquidity there at that high, right? Never came back down to the breakaway gap, right? Pushed away, traded down into the bullish order block, traded up, boom, hit the opposite side of our range that we had mapped out when we said once we get above that upper quadrant, we don't want to see no retracement, hit the opposite side, and then ultimately hit the opposite side of the daily dealing range where we had took out the low, got the bullish breaking market structure, traded back to the opposite end of the range, right? Phil was in there pushing a lot of buttons today, right? It wasn't just a straight shot, but even inside the midst of chop slop, even inside the midst of consolidation, inside the midst of engineering liquidity, inside the midst of Phil pushing these buttons, right? We can still see algorithmic signatures that show us what price wants to do. It shows us what price actually wants to do. And if we are patient and we are keen enough to identify the signatures, we can find ourselves on the right side of a profitable trade. Hopefully this made sense to y'all, man. Hopefully it made sense. If it didn't make sense, I'll try my best again next time. But that's all I got. Do anybody got anything for me? Hmm? Do anybody got anything for me?
I'm good. I understood mostly everything. It's just one thing. What is squanch?
You already know what it is. You already know what it is. They taught you that at Plantation Elementary. You learned everything you need to know at Plantation Elementary, and they taught you squanch at Plantation Elementary. How about that? Do anybody else got anything for me? Do anybody else have anything for me? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. I got something for you. Thank you for the great explanation. I appreciate that. I'm gonna say Des. I appreciate that, Venus. Who excited about the smart money manuscript? Who excited about that? Who gonna jump on the smart money manuscript? You welcome, Sonya. Who gonna jump? Is anybody gonna jump on the smart? If you're gonna jump on the smart money manuscript, put like a hand in the chat like this right here. If you're gonna jump on the smart money manuscript. Me. I guess y'all was typing before I said put a hand in there. Me, JM said me inside the Zoom. Me. All right, man. Hopefully y'all enjoy it, man. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. Like I say, we did a sneak peek, a little peek behind the curtain yesterday, for the people. We did a little peek behind the curtain, and then we gave them opportunity to yesterday took one quiz, and then today I think we did two quizzes today, right? Yeah, we did the one from yesterday, and we did another one. Gave them opportunity to take quizzes, gave them opportunity to, see how the videos are laid out and stuff like that, what I got so far. And so hopefully everybody enjoy it, man. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. I thank y'all for spending your time with me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to hang out here with me for how long we've been on here? About an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 5 minutes, maybe. Yeah, we've been on here about an hour and 5 minutes or so. Hey, I appreciate you for spending time with me, man. If you got something out of this, share it with somebody who you think could get something out of it, right? Why? Because, hey, man, they done let me figure out that we can do this. They done let me figure out that we can do this, and I'm trying to bring it to you, right? I want to bring it to you for the free 99, right? That's why I get on here. I try to get on here every day and give up game, right? When I have to put time into it, like putting together this course, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And once I started actually working on this course, I said, man, I need to be charging about $4,000-$5,000 for this course. And then gang, then I was like, I need to be charged a lot of money for this course. Cause boy, when I tell you the time that it take to put it together right, but like me, I feel like I want to bring it to people where they can afford it. If I thought that you could afford to give me $5,000 for a course, I wouldn't consider you to be in my tax bracket, right? Because I'm considered middle class in America. I'm considered middle class in America, and I don't know many middle class people that can afford to shell out $5,000 and $10,000 for a course. There's so many other things in your family that you can do with $5,000, right? So many other things that you can do for your family with $5,000, even if it's nothing but going on a trip. Going on a trip and spending time with your family is more important than spending $5,000 on a course. But you say, Tim, how can you say that? Because time is more valuable than anything. You know how much, you know how many days I wake up and I regret not calling my brother. If y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying, my brother passed away, right? My brother passed away last year, right? And this is a water bottle and a Rice Krispie treat that his daughter made, right? Got his picture and stuff on it, customer. You know how many days I wake up regretting not picking up the phone and calling him? This joker used to get on my last nerve. Oh man, talking to him on the phone was so aggravating. Right. And now that I can't talk on the phone with him, I be pissed off. I be like, man, why I ain't called dirty? Why didn't I call him? Why didn't I pick up the phone and call him? When we found out he went to the hospital the day before, my younger brother was like, hey man, y'all put Anthony on the phone on the call. And we did not put him on the call. And the next day, Jeanette was like, he in the hospital and he was gone. Time is the most important thing that you have, most valuable thing that you have, right? So I can't think of nobody in my tax bracket who can afford to shell out that much money for a course, right? I thank God that I don't need the money, right? I thank God that I don't need the money. So for the time and effort I put into it, I just put a little price tag on it, right? Every time I do something with the gang and other people that's not even in the gang, right? Once we get finished, they be like, oh man, Tim, I would have paid much more for this. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, one time I said, how much would you have paid for this right here? I can't remember what the thing was. I don't know if it was like the artery and price action or mom, I want to trade or whatever it is. I was like, how much would you have paid for this? Right. And everything that everybody was saying, some people said 300, some people said 500, some people said 100, some people said 1,000. I said, whatever the number is that you said that you are willing to pay me for this, take half of that and put it in your brokerage account and use that money to apply the things that you learned in this right here. Why? Because I thank God that I don't need the money from you to sustain my life. I mean, I don't be trying to block my blessings, right? If y'all want to buy stuff, hey, knock yourself out, buy it, right? I ain't gonna block my blessings. You know what I'm saying? Rain down on me. You feel me? Let my cup runneth over. But I can't in good conscience charge people in my tax bracket like this crazy amount of money for information that's readily available for free. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody said, so we're paying you to tape read. No, you're paying me for my time. You're paying me for the time of sitting down and tape reading with you. I don't have to sit down and tape read with you, right? I already gave you the information. Go and tape read and apply it. You know what I'm saying? But you're paying me for my time to sit down and tape read with you. Because guess what? When I'm tape reading with you, I'm a day trader. This is what I do for a living. I do this for a living. So when I'm not trading, right? Hey, you feel me? Now you feel me. But anyway, man, I ain't mean to get into that. Sometimes I wake up, when I wake up from a nap, I wake up with my feelings. Like I say, I be waking up pissed off. I didn't call my brother. Same with my dad. For years, I used to beat myself up. I used to go see my daughters every weekend. My dad was about an hour and a half further north, right? And every weekend I'd be like, I'm gonna go see daddy next weekend. I'm gonna go see daddy next weekend. I'm gonna go see daddy next weekend. And then he was back in Florida. And then he was in the hospital. And then he was dead. And I was like, God, dog, why didn't I just go across there to see daddy? He was right across the bridge in South Carolina. Same thing, man. Time is the most. You can't get time back, man. You can't get time. You can get money back. You get all this stuff back. You can't get time back. And if we're trying to take back our time from having to spend it at a 9 to 5, have to not be able to go do things with our kids without asking somebody else permission, and don't mess around and have one of them nasty bosses where, you know what I'm saying, you can't take no time off. They need you so bad that this right there, you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You barely get any time off. If we're trying to take our time back, right? Like I said, I can't in good conscience charge you a crazy amount of money, right? To help you get on your feet, right? I'd rather give it to you for free or charge you a little bit of money in the hopes that you're going to pay it forward one day. You're going to help somebody else, right? Once you get it locked in, you're going to help somebody else. So help somebody else by sharing this video, because C-Walk said it was a great session. Somebody else said it was a great session. So share it with somebody so they can get this great session. If they don't sit down and watch the video, you did your part, right? I planted, polished, watered, God gave the increase. It ain't your job to make sure it flourish. You plant and you water. You plant, you water. You plant, you water. You plant, you water. You plant, you water. Just go out there planting, watering. Just whatever your part is, just go out there and do it. If they don't take the opportunity, or they don't take the steps to continue on down that road, you did your part, right? Exactly why I left corporate plantation. No work-life balance. Hey, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Me too. No work-life balance. I got tired of asking somebody, hey, my wife broke down on the side of the road with a flat tire. Can I go get her? I'm a grown man. What I look like a 45-year-old man at the time. I got to ask another man permission if I can go get my wife off the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? What I look like? I'm 42 years old and I gotta go ask my boss if I can go to the daycare to make sure they got my son asthma medicine, because he having an asthma attack and they acting like they can't find it. And I get there and my son blue and purple, and they looking in the wrong bag, looking at his brother book bag. I said, that is not his book bag. They looking at his brother book bag. We can't find it. Oh, I look, come on, man. Man, God is good. And I was able to leave that behind, and I'm able to do, but man, my kids done got so comfortable now. They be making plans for me to do stuff with them that I ain't have no knowledge of. And then I wake up that day, they be like, Dad, we supposed to be doing it. When? Oh, I didn't tell you. No, you didn't tell me. Oh, is it okay if we?
They already know it's okay. You the living version of Tommy right now, man. They know it's okay. They know. I just want to know. You know where we come from. I just want to know how you get so humble and disciplined. You know what I mean?
Now I could get
Hey, y'all, Tim is a real humble man, man. That boy is disciplined. I know him.
I could get 2 laptops and you know what I'm saying?
We ain't even gonna go there. Go to finish telling what you're telling
Hey,
people.
man, hey, I just thank God I don't look like what I come from. I don't look like what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? When you look at me physically, I look like little Timmy Rogers, right? But it's a new man. It's a new man, and I work on it daily because he's still in there. You know what I'm saying? When you bury that old man, don't forget you buried him in a suit. So he dressed up real nice. He ready to come out and step out and show off. He dressed up real nice. You know what I'm saying? So I suppress him every day, right? And I stay focused on my why. Why do I do this? Right? Why do I do this? Right? I got my why on my phone. You know what I'm saying? I got it on my phone. So when I look down at my phone every day, I see it. My why is my family. You know what I'm saying? My why is my family. It keeps me grounded. And then I think about my family. I think about the money that I put into courses. No knock on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I've paid upwards of $4,500 for one course, right? That's the most expensive course I bought. I've paid $1,000 for a course. I've paid $500 for a course. I've put a lot of money into courses, and everything that I use on a daily basis right now, I learned for absolute free. I learned it for free. The stuff that I use every single day to put food on my table, I learned it for free from a man named Michael J. Huddleston. All of that stuff I paid thousands of dollars for, I don't use any of it. I don't use any of it. So, right, I just thank God I was able to do it at the time. I thank God that I had the drive and the desire to continue when it got hard. I remember when my oldest son was like maybe 1 or 2, might have been 3. I can't remember if Christopher was here yet. He's 18 now, but I can't remember if Christopher was here yet. But I remember Timothy was here. And speaking of my older brother, me, my brother, my cousin, his name Tim, we call him Poochie. We were standing in my brother's front yard when him and his old lady Jeanette was standing there off 6th Street. We were standing in the front yard, and I was talking to them about getting into penny stocks. I was like, man, we got to get in that stock market, man. I've been messing with this thing called penny stocks. We need to get into it. Now, mind you, my 18-year-old son was like, he might have been 2, maybe 3, right? He might, and Chris might have been here, but I remember standing out there talking to them about it, right? So if he's 18 now, let's say he was 3, let's say that was 15 years ago, right? Say that was 15 years ago. It's 2025. I did not start taking this serious until March 2020. March 2020 is when I started taking it serious. And I went full throttle January 2021. When I say full throttle, I mean, I said, I can do this. So January 2021, that's not 15 years ago. March 2020, that's not 15 years ago. So what happened in between? Lack of execution. Lack of execution. I was talking about it with my brother and my cousin. Talking about it. Right? Lack of execution. That's what defeats so many of us. We don't execute because of fear. We don't execute because of what other people think. We let other people fear of flying affect us, right? We go out there and we tell our friends and we tell our family members, and they afraid to do it, and they don't know anything about it, and then they start to project their fears on us. You can't do that. We's not allowed to do that. What you talking about? They ain't gonna let us do that. That's what they start saying to us. And then now we laying in bed at night, sweat. We waking up, all we hear is, you can't do that. And then we start thinking it to ourselves, man, I can't really do that. Man, they right, man, I'm tripping. I can't do that. Man, shake that off, man. Don't tell them nothing. Don't tell them nothing. Show them by doing it, right? Show them by doing it. And then guess what? They're going to come around and be like, hey, cuz, what you got going on with that stock market thing, man? Right? And then pay it forward. Pay it forward. If it ain't in you to show them how to do it, point them to the channel. Hey, man, go over there, Tim's Tidbit. Look at this playlist right here. Look at this playlist right here. And if you got questions, ask me. And if I can't answer the question, pull up when he on live and just say, hey, man, I got a question. He'll answer it for you. Pay it forward. But don't let they fear of flying affect you. I'm going to get off my soapbox, man. Y'all know how I get, man. I'm 52 years old. I be getting my feelings. You know what I'm saying? I woke up on the couch tonight thinking about my brother. And when I be getting my feelings, I get to run in my mouth, man. I'm going to get off my soapbox. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Yes, tomorrow, Tuesday, the 15th. We ain't got no tape reading tomorrow. Let's look at the calendar real quick before I get out of here. Right? The economic calendar. I like to use Econo Day, but you can use we got CPI tomorrow. We got CPI tomorrow. We know that's the wig snatcher of them all. CPI tomorrow, expect high volatility at CPI, and then we're gonna come up like the little hyenas and take what the lion left. Right? CPI the lion, it's gonna roar. Then we're gonna come up, the little hyena's gonna come up and take the scraps that he left, right? Them scraps will get you the glory. And then we got PPI on Wednesday, and then jobs, of course, on Thursday, along with retail sales, and then housing permits. So we got some hard-hitting news in the middle of the week, typical news toward the end of the week, right? So, hey, man, trade what you see, not what you want. All right? And with that, I'm going to call it again, man. Sorry for running my mouth on y'all, man. I woke up in my feelings, and I just been running my mouth. Hopefully, y'all gleaned something from it. Don't see nothing in the chat. Congrats again, Felicia. And congrats to everybody. Congrats, Quiet Millionaire. I see you in there. Congrats to everybody that's in here. Why am I saying congrats to everybody? Because you taking them steps. You taking them steps. Them steps I didn't take 15 years ago. I didn't start taking them steps until 4 years ago. You're taking them steps. You on your path, right? You're on your path. Show them with your progress. Don't tell them what you're doing. Just let them see it, right? Don't tell them what you're doing. Just let them see it, because you tell them they're going to start doubting. Don't tell them what you're doing. Just let them see it. And then once they see it and they come ask, be like, here you go. There you go. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm gone. Till the next time I decide to get on Al Gore's internet and share my thoughts with this thing that they call price action. It's your boy, Timothy Leroy Sr., a.k.a. Aranya Grande. That's just big spot of you know, Hablo Espanol. Y'all be safe out here in these straight streets, man. Gone.